My father handed my sister the company I built. I walked away, joined our biggest client, and watched the firm that ignored me collapsed without me. I spent 7 years building my dad's consulting firm from a 3-person operation into something real. When I started right after college, we had 1 office, 2 clients, and my dad was thinking about shutting it down to retire early. I brought in new clients, hired a team of 12 people, built our entire digital presence from scratch. By year 5, we were pulling in $2 million a year. My dad would brag about me at every family dinner, telling everyone how I saved the business. Then my sister Lauren graduated with her MBA from some expensive school in Boston. She'd never worked a real job in her life, just internships at places where she mostly got coffee and sat in meetings. But she had that degree, and Dad was impressed. Lauren moved back home last April, and Dad immediately made her vice president of operations. I was still just senior consultant, same title I'd had since year 2. When I asked Dad about it, he said Lauren needed a strong title to establish credibility with clients. Never mind that I'd been establishing credibility for 7 years. Lauren started changing things immediately. Wanted to rebrand everything, said my website design looked outdated. She hired some agency that charged us 40 grand to make our logo slightly different shades of blue. Then she started sitting in on my client meetings. Our biggest client was this manufacturing company called Apex Industries. I've been working with their CEO Robert for 4 years, basically became his right-hand guy for all their process improvements. Saved them $3 million last year alone. Lauren would sit in these meetings and interrupt me to suggest ideas she'd clearly read in some textbook that morning. Robert would just nod politely, but I could see him getting annoyed. One time she suggested they outsource their quality control to save money. I'd spent 6 months helping them bring quality control in-house because outsourcing was killing them. Robert looked at me like, is she serious right now? After that meeting, Robert pulled me aside in the parking lot, asked me point blank if Lauren was taking over my accounts. I told him no, she was just learning the business. He didn't look convinced. 3 months later, Dad called a family meeting at the office. Mom was there, Lauren was there, even my younger brother who had nothing to do with the company. Dad announced he was retiring and handing the company to Lauren. She'd be CEO effective immediately. I just sat there thinking this had to be a joke. I built this entire thing and he was giving it to someone who'd been here 4 months. When I asked why, Dad said Lauren had the education and leadership training to take it to the next level. What I'd done was great, but the company needed sophisticated management now. That word, sophisticated, like what I'd been doing was just grunt work. I cleaned out my desk that afternoon, didn't yell, didn't argue, just packed my stuff and left. My team was confused. A few of them texted asking what happened. I told them to update their resumes. 2 days later, Robert called me, said he heard I left and wanted to grab lunch. We met at this diner near his office and he offered me a job on the spot. Director of Process Improvement, 20% more than I was making at Dad's firm, full benefits, and my own team. But here's the best part. Apex had been our biggest client, responsible for 40% of Dad's revenue. Robert told me straight up that he'd only stayed because of me. If I wasn't there, he had no reason to keep paying for Lauren's textbook theories. I accepted his offer the same day. Within a week, Robert pulled his contract with Dad's firm. That's almost $1 million a year, gone. Then 2 of my old team members quit and came to work with me at Apex. They told me Lauren was panicking, trying to manage accounts she didn't understand. She kept calling clients by the wrong names and mixing up their projects. One of our medium clients left after Lauren completely botched their quarterly review, used another client's presentation by accident. By month 3, Dad's firm lost 4 more clients. Turns out those relationships were with me, not the company name. Lauren tried calling me twice, left voicemails saying we should talk, that family was more important than business grudges. I never called back. 6 months after I left, I heard through old coworkers that Dad was coming out of retirement to try to save things, but it was too late. The reputation was damaged, the talent was gone, and clients had already found new consultants. Last month, they closed the office. Dad had to sell the client list and remaining contracts to a competitor just to pay off their debts. I saw Lauren's LinkedIn recently. She's working as a junior analyst at some corporate firm now, no management title, and I just got promoted to VP at Apex. Robert told the board I was the best hire he'd ever made.